Okay, let's dive into this. For basically 20 years, digital commerce has relied on a super familiar, very specific routine. We all know it, right? You want to buy something, so you click through some search results, maybe you read a few reviews, you throw it in your cart, and then eventually you type in your credit card number. But what actually happens to the entire economy of the internet when the buyer is no longer a human? What happens when software, like an AI agent acting completely on your behalf, is the one actually doing the shopping, the negotiating, and the buying? Well, welcome to this explainer on the agent moat, where we're going to unpack a massive, completely disruptive paradigm shift, the era of agentic commerce.
Here is a quick look at our roadmap for today. We'll be covering the rise of AI buyers, the agentic protocol war, the capability asymmetry threat, where the value actually settles, and finally, why trust is the brand new moat.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the rise of AI buyers and how that core transaction moment is fundamentally changing.
Now, what's really interesting here is how it frames this shift. Every digital marketplace out there, think Amazon, Etsy, Airbnb, they're all basically making a bet on one specific moment, the exact moment a buyer and a seller find each other, build enough trust to transact, and then hand a cut to the platform. The human status quo, well, that relied entirely on our eyeballs and our clicks. But then consider the AI reality. In just the last 12 months, that transaction moment has shifted to software, parsing structured data, executing really strict mandates, and making decisions based purely on algorithms. AI isn't just a fancy new user interface, it's a completely brand new type of middleman.
Which brings us right to Section 2, the agentic protocol war. This is basically the chaotic race to set the rules for this whole new ecosystem.
Because the identity of the buyer is fundamentally changing, all the major tech giants are just scrambling to own the plumbing of this new era. The last year alone produced a total flurry of competing protocols. For instance, OpenAI made this incredibly aggressive play with their agent-to-commerce protocol. They are aiming for instant checkout, trying to keep your entire purchase journey right inside ChatGPT. They really don't want you leaving their app. Meanwhile, Google took a totally different path with AP2, actually handing it over to the FIDO Alliance as a shared neutral standard, mostly just to prove a real human authorized the agent's purchase. And then we have the Universal Commerce Protocol, or UCP, pushed by Shopify alongside massive partners like Walmart and MasterCard. This one is a rare attempt at actual industry-wide coordination. So everyone is placing these massive bets right now on how an agent-initiated transaction should actually be processed.
And this brilliantly illustrates the really humbling early reality of all these experiments. Despite all that massive infrastructure being built, Walmart actually found that checkouts completed inside ChatGPT converted roughly 3 times worse than a standard, old-school click-through to Walmart's actual website. OpenAI even had to pull back on their instant checkout plans because of friction exactly like this.
So, if we synthesize all that data, here's where we're at. Agents are currently excellent at the very top of the funnel. They're amazing at discovery, comparing 50 different items in seconds and really narrowing down your intent. But they are still remarkably bad at the exact part that marketplaces actually monetize, the trusted close. Sure, they can find the product, but completing that final trusted handshake with the seller's platform, that is exactly where the whole system is currently breaking down.
Let's move to Section 3 and see how this builds into a much darker, kind of invisible problem, the capability asymmetry threat. And we got a huge warning sign about this from something called Project Deal.
So Anthropic actually ran an internal pilot called Project Deal. It was a marketplace where their employees' AI agents negotiated real purchases with each other, using real money. And honestly, the chilling takeaway that every single marketplace operator needs to sit with is this. Listen to this. When one side was represented by a noticeably stronger model, the people on the losing end mostly did not notice they had been out-negotiated. Think about that. The better AI quietly secured objectively better prices and better terms for its owner, and the human on the other side had absolutely no idea it even happened.
So, the crucial point here is this entirely new concept, capability asymmetry. For basically 2 decades, platforms have built review systems and guarantees to fix information asymmetry between humans. But this is entirely new. If your marketplace's trust layer only verifies the humans and completely ignores the AI agents negotiating on their behalf, your platform can and absolutely will be quietly gamed by whoever can afford the smartest model. It is a completely invisible threat to marketplace integrity.
Okay, let's head into Section 4. Where does value settle? Once all the noise of these crazy protocol wars finally calms down, where's the money actually going to flow?
There are 3 very distinct bets playing out right now. Bet number 1, platforms. Companies like Amazon and Walmart, they're betting they can just own the agent itself,
Keep the AI inside their own walled garden, and preserve their take rate. Bet number 2, aggregators. And honestly, this is what marketplace operators fear the absolute most. What if one single default AI assistant, like a supercharged Siri or ChatGPT, becomes the literal only way we shop? If that happens, Amazon and Etsy just become commoditized supply sources, completely disintermediated by an AI layer they have zero control over. And then bet 3 is supply. If AI protocols standardize everything perfectly, a smart agent might just bypass the middleman entirely and book a hotel directly with the supplier.
So who actually wins? Well, the early retail data suggests something really fascinating. AI agents do not care about your flashy logo or your brand loyalty. They definitely aren't watching your Super Bowl commercials. An agent simply routes toward whoever has the cleanest data and the most reliable, highly readable API. In this new era, infrastructure quality is quite literally becoming the new competitive moat.
And that brings us to our 5th and final section, and really the ultimate aha moment of this entire explainer. Trust is the new moat. But the catch is, we have to start building it for the machine.
Think for a second about what marketplaces actually sell. Ultimately, they monetize trust. You pay a premium on Airbnb or eBay because you know that if something goes totally sideways, the platform has your back. Airbnb built Air Cover. eBay built their authenticity guarantee. Amazon has the A to Z guarantee. Historically, these platforms turn trust into a tangible product that humans could read, feel, and rely on. But remember the whole premise here? Humans are no longer the ones doing the buying.
This shift to AI commerce means that trust just got a brand new customer, the agent. And agents, obviously, don't feel trust. They read structured data. So the next massive evolution of the marketplace is agent-certified trust features. This means we're going to need systems that can actually certify that neither AI is unfairly overpowering the other. It means cryptographically signing mandates so the seller actually knows for sure that a real human authorized the bot to spend their money. And most importantly, it means translating all those glowing 5-star reviews and seller credentials into formats that an algorithm can parse, weigh, and consume instantly.
Which brings up a massive, absolutely crucial challenge for anyone running a digital business today. Ask yourself, does your platform have a machine-readable way for an agent to verify trust signals, or does it literally only work if a human is reading the page? Look, if your beautiful 5-star review widgets and your shiny guarantee badges are designed only for human eyeballs, your reputation system is completely invisible to agent traffic. The eye simply does not see it.
10 years ago, if a website wasn't mobile responsive, it basically died. The clear prediction drawn from the data we've looked at today is that over the next 18 months, the absolute winners will be the platforms that treat agent-legible as a first-class product requirement. The protocols themselves, they'll commoditize. The real value is going to accrue to whichever platform the AI agent actually trusts enough to execute a transaction with.
So I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought. Look closely at your own digital storefront, your own marketplace, or even just the tools you use online every day. Is the trust layer a product, or is it still just functioning as a cost center? And honestly, more importantly, as software fully takes the wheel, can the machines actually read it? Trust is absolutely still the moat, but the customer of that moat just changed forever. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking these really tough questions, and I'll catch you next time as we continue to unpack the systems shaping our world.